there's one to get it to go to the right, which is up, right, up invert it, right invert it, up invert it, and then front invert it, and then up and then front. And you can see that the blue is going to go with the blue, the blue is going to go with the blue, and the red's going to go with the red, which is that algorithm. And there's another algorithm to get the cube to go to the left side. So like this one, it needs to go to this side. So you match it up, and then you see what side it needs to go to, which is the left. And you do this algorithm. You go up invert it, left invert it, up, left, up, front, up invert it, and front invert it. And that would get the cube to go to the left and go into its proper spot. And once you know those two algorithms, you can solve the rest of it. So this would be the left algorithm. So it's up invert it, left invert it, up, left, up, front, up invert it, front invert it. And then once you do that, you'll notice that you have the whole 2 layers done, and you didn't mess up anything from the bottom. Alright, now you have to solve for the top layer, and in order to do that, you have to, first of all, you have to look at the top, and you're either going to have this line, the center dot by itself, or an L, a backwards L. And whichever one you have, just use this algorithm to get the 4 crosses like you did before with the white. You're gonna get the 4 crosses for the yellow. So just do this algorithm, and when you have the line, you make sure that the line is horizontal towards you. So you do this algorithm: front, right, up, right invert it, up invert it, front invert it, and you'll get the cross. If you have the dot, you're going to have to do that a couple times. If you have the line, you'll have to do it once, and sometimes you'll be lucky and you'll already have the cross. Once you get the cross, your next step is to make sure that the colors match up. So like, what I mean is that the blue is with the blue, the red is with the red, and the green is with the green, and the orange is with the orange. Once, for instance, these colors are all mixed up. So what you need to do is this algorithm. First of all, you need to find 2 sides that do go together. For instance, this orange goes together and this green goes together. Make sure that they're next to each other. If they're not, sometimes you'll get it so that like the blue would be on the opposite and the green would be on the opposite. Do this algorithm, which is right, up, right invert it, up, right, up, up, right invert it, and then with one final up, you'll get it, and you'll see that they all line up, the colors. Alright, the next step is to make sure that the colors, this is close to the end, make sure that the colors, alright, well, yeah, okay, once you've done that and you get the colors to line up, the next step is to solve for these 4 corner pieces. But first, you need to make sure that those corner pieces are where they need to go. For example, this one, the yellow, the green, and the orange. And sometimes you'll get the ones where they're not close to where they belong, like this one, the blue doesn't go with the green, yellow, or the red. So what you need to do is look for the one that is pretty much in its place. It just needs to, which would be this one, which is the yellow with the green, and then with the green and the orange. Well, if you have one of those, you can do the no matter what, just do the algorithm, and then you'll eventually get the pieces where they need to be. So for example, this one where it goes. So you do this algorithm: up, right, up inverted, left inverted, up, right inverted, up inverted, left, and then you do that. Depending on where the cubes are, it might take you 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, doesn't matter, but you'll eventually get it. So I did that once, and you can still see that this blue doesn't belong here, and then this red doesn't, no, yeah, this red belongs on this side. So you do that same algorithm using the same cube. Make sure it's always on the bottom right handed side. So you do it again: up, right, up inverted, left inverted, up, right inverted, up inverted, left, and then you can see that one went into its place, and then the rest are where they need to be. So like the yellows with the yellow, the green goes with the green, and the orange with the orange, and then the yellow, yellow, green, green, and then red, red, and then the yellow, yellow, blue, blue, and then red, red. Okay, once you have that, you do this algorithm. It's the first algorithm that you learned, that you used for the beginning to get the 4 corner pieces. So which would be right inverted, down inverted, right, down, right inverted, down inverted, right, down. Once that piece is where it belongs, you just turn the top layer, just the top layer, counterclockwise once, and then you solve for that piece. So using the same algorithm: right inverted, down inverted, right, down, right inverted, down inverted, right, down. Then you turn the top layer again once, counterclockwise, and then you solve for that side. So right inverted, down inverted, right, down, right inverted, down inverted, right, down, and then a couple more adjustments, and then you'll have solved the Rubik's Cube. That's pretty much it. Yeah, it's pretty much it. So I think that's all. Alright. So yeah, you solved it.